Hey everybody, what's going on? Sal Capaccio here, a special edition of Sal's House at our presenting sponsor right now, and that is Sports City Pizza Pub, 1407 Niagara Street here in Buffalo. You see behind me, check this out. Got some people they don't even know. They're going to be on TV or on the stream right now. They're having a great time eating some pizza and wings. This place is going to be absolutely packed a little bit later tonight. And of course, great pizza, great wings, great food otherwise, great beer on tap, all the different drinks you want. And we're raising money tonight for Coaches versus Cancer. It's an NCAA tournament watch party. Going to bring in right now owner here, Mike Rizzo. Mike, thanks a lot, first of all, for being a part of, thank you, buddy. Thank you for Sal's House. You've been with me here since we launched this thing, but this is great what you're doing here tonight. Check it out. We got people coming by behind the bar. Why don't you tell everybody what's going on tonight?
Yeah, absolutely. So what we got going on tonight is Coaches versus Cancer. It's kickoff day for March Madness. We've been doing this for 7+ years, minus that, pesky COVID year in there. But what we're doing is we're raising money. We're open at 12 every day for the tournament. And really, we're kicking ass today.
Yeah, and today you had a great lunch crowd. Now everybody's kind of getting back home from work, and they're getting ready to come back out. So this place is going to fill up very shortly.
Exactly. So what we just went through was the lunch crowd, like you just hinted at. Sorry, it's been such a whirlwind of the day. We're loving it.
No, that's okay. Let me ask this. When the lunch crowd came in, was there any particular school everybody was kind of rooting for or against?
Well, let's put it this way. BYU and their upset did not help anything. So
let's take a look. How's your bracket doing, by the way? We got Michigan State's already through. They beat Mississippi State. Arizona's through. They beat Long Beach State. By the Long Beach State Beach. That's their name.
Oh, that's incredible.
Maybe, I don't know if that's a good thing or bad. Duquesne, they beat BYU. That's the one you're talking about.
Yeah, that Duquesne upset. I mean, we had a couple people in here who picked that for the upset. I, unfortunately, was not one of them.
Yeah, you want that in your bracket. Creighton winds up beating Akron. It's pretty much gone chalk except for that upset so far. We got some games going on right now. We got Oregon against South Carolina. I have to be honest. I picked South Carolina to go to the Final Four. That's a huge upset. I have a 6 seed in the Final Four. They went on a run earlier this year. I really like what they were doing. But I'm kind of torn. My brother went to Oregon to get his PhD. He's a big Ducks fan.
Did he really? Oh, wow. That's
I'm a little torn.
Go-to. If I could ever make it to a game, I would.
All right, so what about this one? North Carolina, Wagner. Right now, North Carolina is up by 19 points. They're going to get through. What else we got? That's the only games on right now. We got some more starting a little bit later. We're going to have the evening, obviously, the nighttime session. And, of course, you have all the different kind of action going on here. So how does it work? People come in here, and they can get some beer, some drinks, and then how does the Coaches versus Cancer part work?
So the Coaches versus Cancer actually works out really great. We did this last October. You're repping it right now. The Real Men Wear Pink. Yeah. Basically, it's going to be the same thing where if throughout the celebrity bartenders, we got Maniac from Trainwreck Sports, Sal from Sal's House. How can you not?
I'll be jumping behind the bar as soon as this is done at 5 p.m. Right now, it's 4:33, and then we're recording this now. You're watching it a little bit after, and I'm jumping behind the bar at 5. And what else we got? Maddie Glab
from the Bills, and we got some local college coaches coming in. So basically what's going to be is business as usual. We're catching all the tournament action. And then from there, if you want to donate to Coaches versus Cancer, you donate right into the blue buckets, and anything that doesn't make it into the blue buckets goes towards our amazing staff that we got behind the bar.
And right now we got Joe Lavere from American Cancer Society. He is setting up. They got raffles and giveaways and things you can bid on and stuff like that. So that
we got it all, yeah.
And then Mike McDonald's coming, Damon head coach. They had a great year again. Division II. They're so good. He's such a great coach.
Honestly, I wasn't sure. He was I wasn't overly familiar with D2, but honestly, he's turned that program around and they look phenomenal last little bit.
They did. I went to their final home game of the year, so he's going to be here as well. Let's talk about what you got here at Sports City, baby, on the menu. Tell everybody that kind of when they come in what you can do, especially all the different kinds of wings.
He's right. We got over 15 to 20 different kinds of wings. Honestly, we're at Sports City. We're not here trying to reinvent the wheel. We know what we do, and we do it very well. Come in for pizza, wings, sports, and beer.
All right, buddy. You go do what you got to do. Absolutely. We're going to be right here. Joe Lavere is going to stop over. Maniac's supposed to come over here and talk to me. In the meantime, let's just have some fun here at Sports City. I'm going to let you go back behind the bar. I'll be back there. Yep, there you go. Anytime you want to come over, Mike, you can come over. You got something you want to say, you can do that. Anybody else has anything they want to say, come down here today. Sports City Pizza Pub, of course. It is 1407 Niagara Street. You see that right there? You know what? You know what's cool about Sports City when you come here, to be honest with you? Like when you come here, I don't know if you realize the west side of Buffalo, how much it's kind of been built up over the last couple of years. It's kind of having a renaissance here on the west side. There's the West Side Bazaar, which is not too far away, but also the Peace Bridge. If you walk outside the front door right here, The Peace Bridge is right down the street, and you can see it. I think it's a pretty cool spot in Buffalo. So come on down, 1407 Niagara Street. What kind of wings you like? I got to tell you, the other day, came here for dinner. I told my wife and my son, hey, let's get some pizza and wings. Where are we going to go? Sports City. I don't live too far from here, so it makes it a lot easier, right? So I said, what kind do we want? I'm a traditional wing guy. I like medium wings. I'll take mild. I mean, I don't mind hot either. I like medium, but I don't mind trying some other ones like honey barbecue. But the first time that I had hot garlic parm the other day, hot garlic parm wings were amazing the other day. All right. I mean, you wait. Who came up with hot garlic parm?
That's Michael.
What wing did you come up with? This is Michael's dad, by the way.
Memphis, honey mustard, barbecue.
There's just so many different things. We throw a dart at a map, whatever city, that's the next wing. We're going to go with Dallas or Houston, California, Sacramento. Doesn't matter. All right. There's Mike right there. And I'll tell you, it's a great time here. Come on down to Sports City Pizza Pub. How's your bracket doing? Well, for me, I have a bracket contest going that I've been promoting on the radio. It's honestly just for free. People can go and enter it. Now, if you didn't do it, it's a little bit too late, right? One thing that I had to figure out, though, was how do you score an NCAA bracket? What is the best way to score it? You have your traditional scoring, which is 1 point every round, 1 point every round, or you 1 point, then 2 points, and 4 points, and 6. But you look at some of them, and it's like, yeah, you get to the finals, and it's 32 points for the champion. I didn't really want to do that. I'm like, wait a minute, or, however many more points you're going to get. To me, that kind of nullifies what you do in the early rounds. You want to reward the early rounds, and you want to reward upsets. I like upsets because if I pick a 12 to win and they do, I want to go, yeah, I picked 12 to win. But it doesn't matter other than bragging rights. If I have a way to reward it, then that makes it better. So what I did was I actually literally went to, I went to Google and I searched in best way to score an NCAA bracket. And there's a lot of different theories. And this is actually, people have done the algorithms. They've done the math on this. And the one thing I found that was really cool, it's called the Fibonacci scoring system. The Fibonacci scoring system it's a sequence. Fibonacci sequence is every two numbers, whatever they add up to is the next number. So if you start with 1 point, then 2 points, the next round is 3 points. 2 plus 3 is 5. 3 plus 5 is 8. 5 plus 8 is, of course, 13, right? So that's how I did it. And then 13 plus 8 is 21. I think that's how I have the championship scored. Now, that said, how do I reward upsets? Well, this is what I did, and it seems to be a good way based on how others have scored it in the past. Whatever your seed is that you pick, if they win, you get that many points added on to your round. So let's say you pick North Carolina to win. They're the 1 seed. If they do, you get 1 point. It's great. You get an extra point. But you might want to pick the 16 just because you're going to get 16 points if they win. It's great if they do it, but it's obviously a bit of a risk. So that's why a lot of people basically don't do it. So that's how I figured out to do the scoring system the best way. Fibonacci sequence plus adding on points for whatever the upset is that you pick. So that's how it is. CBSSports.com. I made it. It's called Sal Sports, and put a password in. I promoted it on X. Hopefully you're following me at Sal Sports on X. And I talked about it on the radio because, not getting anything for it. It's free. And so I just want people to have fun. I'm giving away a couple of NCAA online shop gift cards. And by the end of my show today, we had like 400 entries, which was really cool. Going to welcome in Joe Lavera right now. Joe is part of the American Cancer Society. You can see it right there in Coaches versus Cancer. I don't have a Coaches versus Cancer. I have an American Cancer Society, so I wore this one. So Real Men Wear Pink. So I'm going to need to get a coach because that's sweet, man. I like these quarter zips, right? This is good for golf. Got the golf tournament as well coming up. So why don't you tell everybody kind of what's going on here today and why we're here?
Absolutely. Well, we're here for a watch party, right? Obviously, it's the biggest day for college hoop fans, I think, right? The first Thursday of the tournament. Tomorrow's real close second, but obviously a lot of games. And Coaches versus Cancer, is a partnership with the NABC and American Cancer Society. And we do all sports, but we do basketball a little bit better, right? Basketball is what drives the ship, if you will, for us. So, we try to do a bunch of activity around the NCAA tournament. And here in Buffalo, I get to work with people like you, Sal. And we've got Mike here at Sports City, who's fantastic. And we went ahead and put this watch party together. And we'll be here tonight with some great baskets and raffles. And you get to bartend.
How does it work? If I go behind the bar and someone goes, I want to donate while Sal's behind the bar, how does it go?
Well, hopefully it'll be a bigger donation because you're behind the bar compared to Mike. But so if they want to donate to you, basically you'll have a blue bucket. It's Coaches versus Cancer. they want to donate to Coaches versus Cancer, they want to tip you, they put it in the blue bucket. If they want to leave it for the professionals, they just leave it on the bar. So you'll have a branded blue bucket. I might mark names on it. So Maniac was talking a lot of stuff today.
I know, right? He's like making this contest out of it. I'm like, dude, I don't need to compete, but you know what? Let's go do it. All right. So come on and give me more tips than you give Maniac. I mean, that's what this is all about. Raising money. Matty Glab's coming. Mike McDonald's coming. We're just talking. He had a great year again this year at Damon.
Oh, fantastic. Round of 32 again. He's just Mac's a great coach. He's got things going well there at Damon. It helps that his kid is a really good player, but he's got it's 6 guys.
Nick is a 1,000-point scorer.
Yes, a 1,000-point career scorer. He's got, I guess, 6 guys that are averaging double digits this year. So they're a balanced attack. But Mac is a phenomenal human being first, and then he's a really good coach as well. So.
And I went to their final home game. That was against D'Youville. And I hadn't gone to a game, but I went to the game. And I'm looking at their program, and I see the last name Shumpert. And I'm like, oh, I wonder if he's Preston Shumpert, right? I mean, I didn't think so, but then I saw from Syracuse. It is Preston Shumpert's son. And then I looked down the list. Another Shumpert, both of Preston Shumpert's kids, played at Damon this year. And Preston was at the game, and I got to talk to him. Former Syracuse great shooter. Both his kids were at Stony Brook. They transferred to Damon, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. I tried to get Jeremy to come out tonight so you guys could wax poetically.
He said he might still come here and hang out. He can't get behind the bar, but he might come out. Okay, be honest with me, all right? Have you ever either taken off a day of work or left work early just because the NCAA tournament was on?
Yes, 100%. I've ducked out many a Thursday and Friday at 11:30 or noon to go and watch games. For a number of years, when I was in college athletics at Canisius, a bunch of us did it. We would all go to a sponsor, and so it made sense. It was kind of approved to do it, but other places I've done it as well. So as a college kid, many times skipped class on Thursday and Friday afternoon to go to Tully's. So
I can imagine. Now tell me, who's your team in this bracket, or maybe not in the bracket? Who's your college team?
I'm a Buffalo alum, so I love Buffalo. I have an uncle who lives in Kansas City, so I grew up watching like Rafe LaFrench and Jacques Vaughn and those Kansas teams in the late 90s.
And 2003 when Syracuse beat them, but go ahead.
2003 when Syracuse beat them. I saw that one. Yep. That was a tough one for me as a 16-year-old to understand that one, but it was good. This year's tournament, it's tough, right? I think Houston, UConn, and Purdue all seem to have kind of pulled away from the field, and so it's tough to really pick against them. I think if I had to pick somebody that wasn't them, I like Iowa State a lot as well. I think their brand of basketball travels pretty well this time of year. They play a lot of defense, which helps when you get games like Virginia the other night, scoring 40, or I don't know if you stayed up and watched Colorado and Boise State last night, but it was
more entertaining than the Virginia game, I'll tell you that.
It was more entertaining than the Virginia game, but it was not a pretty game of basketball either. It was not. It wasn't back to like the Peach Basket days, but scoring 60 points to win a game.
But Virginia scored, 14 in the second half? I mean, look, you talk about traveling. It used to be where you'd say Tony Bennett's brand of ball travels, but I mean, you gotta score more than 40-something points in college basketball these days. That's what it's all about. All right, so what do you have happening here in your bracket? Do you have any particular upsets? Because I gotta be honest, I'm watching South Carolina here. That's my upset pick. I got South Carolina going to the Final Four as a 6th seed. They had a really nice run earlier this year. They kind of surprised everybody, and I kind of latched onto them and said, man, this is a team I can kind of get behind. I like their story a little bit. But now I'm torn because they're playing Oregon. My brother got his PhD at Oregon. He's a Duck.
It's tough. It's tough when you have family rooting interests. Yeah, South Carolina's had a really nice season. Lamont, they just gave Lamont Paris an extension, which is great for him. And they were picked like second to last in the SEC. And obviously they are not second to last.
How about Duquesne today? Their big upset against BYU,
yeah,
extending their head coach's run. He's going to retire.
Yeah, that's good. That was interesting. I was surprised they went all the way to the end of the A10 tournament and got into the tournament. And then Monday morning, like, oh, Keith Dambrot's going to retire. And they were definitely motivated to play today. And BYU couldn't make any kind of shots in the first half, it looked like. And so that's how upsets happen, right? You get a team go cold, and you get a team that's a veteran team. And
veteran. BYU usually has like a few 28, 29-year-olds, right? Talk about veteran. By the way, the head coach, Dambrot, is how you say his last name? His dad, I didn't know this, actually played at Duquesne and won a national title in the 50s.
I did not know that.
I learned that today watching the broadcast.
I know. All the Keith stories I know are about Keith coaching LeBron in high school, right? Those are, and obviously he was a college coach before that, and he flamed out, and then he went and coached LeBron.
LeBron gave all those kids sneakers for the game.
Did he?
Yeah, he they wore them for the game. Like they just get these sneakers and they put them on and they wear them. And I'm like, I don't know if I could do that. Like, could I go out there and be competitive with a brand new pair of shoes that day?
Yeah.
But if they're LeBron shoes, they got to be pretty comfortable.
You would think, right? I assume LeBron's making a quality product. He's putting his name on it. Yeah, I'm the same bit as you. I wouldn't. I'd be afraid I'd get blisters and like putting a new pair of shoes on to go, especially a game of that magnitude. It isn't like you're playing like in mid-December against Robert Morris. Like you're playing on national television in the NCAA tournament. You're like, I'm just gonna switch up my footwear, my whole team.
All right, so listen, I have the pleasure of every year announcing at the golf tournament. You do a golf tournament for Coaches versus Cancer, and boy, Mark Schmidt and Anita, they do an amazing job. And I might have some Bonaventure people watching this. And Mark, you know how great of a coach Mark Schmidt is, but he's such a great person off the court as well. And he's really kind of spearheaded Coaches versus Cancer in this area. And it's just my honor and pleasure to go down there and to see him and to see Greg Paulus. And of course, Reggie not coming back at Canisius, but such a mainstay. Coach Helkovich from UB there last year, all the coaches. Maybe someone's like, wait a minute, how do I get involved in that? So tell everybody a little bit about the golf event every year and what happens and how they can get involved.
Absolutely. So it's the 716 Golf Classic. This year it's August 25th and 26th. So it's Sunday night and Monday. It's down at lovely Bartlett Country Club in Olean. And Mark and Anita have done a phenomenal job spearheading it. And the head of that committee, his name is Jeff Nix, a former assistant GM with the New York Knicks and the Detroit Pistons. He's a good old Portville kid from your Southern Tier viewers. So they've really taken that event and grown it well beyond. I mean, Sal, you've been with the event since we started it. Since we went out and we had 70 of our closest friends go play golf at Harvest Hill and Orchard Park in 2020.
I remember going when we did it downtown. It was this little space, and you've grown it so much since then. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, back when it used to be downtown, and it was the gala, and then the gala went away, and it became a breakfast. The breakfast went for a few years, and that kind of flamed out. And this golf tournament really seems to have caught, right? And Mark does a great job with it, and the other coach, Coach Paulus at Niagara, has gotten more involved. He started to bring in some of the sponsors from Niagara. One of your sponsors, I know Batavia Downs, is a strong supporter of you as well. Brought them into the table, and then the new head coach at Canisius, we'll see who that is. Based on who it is, some coaches have very strong Coaches versus Cancer lineage, and other coaches, when they get to the Hearst chair, I get to go have a meeting with them and say, hey, this is kind of what you signed up for. Let me know what you can do. But it's August 26th, and if people want to join that, they can check out our website, 716golfclassic.com, or there's more info on all of our Coaches versus Cancer programming at coaches.cancer.org, and they can see everything regionally and nationally. So if they want to learn about, like maybe they want to play Oak Hill on June 9th and 10th when the national tournament comes here. And that's chaired by Red Autry and Jerry, so your favorite coaches.
Okay, cool. I didn't even realize that. So when is it? So for all you Syracuse people out there, so what exactly is that one?
So it's the National Coaches Invitational. That's June 9th and 10th. It's at Oak Hill. It's chaired by Red and Jerry this year. It is not cheap, so it is $5,000 a head. You get 36 holes at Oak Hill, as well as hotel stays for Sunday and Monday night. And when I say it's a who's who of college coaches, it really is a who's who of college coaches. So I can tell you, like, you'll see Syracuse staff and you'll see Mark Schmidt, but you'll also see Roy Williams and Bobby Cremins. I'm trying to think who else plays that tournament that I see on a yearly basis.
That is, man.
Brad Underwood comes in and plays it. I know Matt Lengel right now from Colgate. I got to be careful talking about in front of your viewers. He might not be the coach of Colgate in a few days. He's like a 5-time Patriot League Coach of the Year now. So
listen, I love Red Autry, but if it wasn't Red Autry, I'm like, go get Matt Engel.
Yes.
Oh my gosh,
Absolutely.
right down the road from you.
Yep.
He's done an amazing job. All right, I'm gonna put my word in right now. If you need an MC for that one, I'm their guy.
I'll let you know I'll let them know you're available.
All right, you got it. Okay, real quick. So you're gonna go do this thing. What do we got tonight? You got some stuff for raffles and baskets. What can people get?
Absolutely. So we got a whole bunch of basket raffles highlighted. I have a 16x20 autograph Jordan Poyer and Micah Hyde photo. I have a 16x20 autograph Ryan Miller poster. I've got some other stuff. I've got some Coaches versus Cancer branded leather bags, his and hers. So you get 2 of them. So you make your missus happy too if you come down. I think a couple of bills, like the clear stadium size bags, and then I got a whole bunch of goodies from Ad Pro Sports. I opened the box. I saw that there's like a cooler on top. I haven't dug in the box yet, so when I set up the basket raffle here in 20 minutes, I'll know entirely what's there. But I think I got all the highlights there. So
yeah, thanks for all you do, man. Appreciate it. Have a great time tonight. I'll be behind the bar in a little while, and People want to come down, they can say hi, they can be a part of it. All right, that is Joe Lavere from the American Cancer Society and Coaches versus Cancer. I got to check my watch because right now it is 10 till 5. I don't know where Maniac is. He was supposed to come and be a part of this, but I also know that he's really into UB and NIT and all that. So it's okay if he doesn't wind up showing up, but he will be here a little bit later. I think he's going to be going behind the bar a little bit later. Is Maniac here? Oh, he is. Where is he? Oh, there he is. Oh, I didn't recognize him. Look at his hair. He cut his hair. When did you cut your hair?
It was years ago. I got out of my bet in the summer of 2021, and I had to pay it for it. Sal, it was.
Grab my mic. I'm doing the interview here.
I know we needed a cool down after the hot ratings you've been doing. Okay, so I'm here to cool it down. No, but wait, sorry. What was the question?
No, that's okay. I want your hair, man. I mean, you remember you used to say to my son, "Where's the long hair?" when Max cut it years ago.
Flowing back in the day. We used to be flow bros, as we like to call it. But yeah, cut it in June of 2021. And it was 5 years into my guarantee where I said I will not cut my hair until the Buffalo Sabres make the playoffs. And now it's 3 years later, so that was proving probably to be a good decision. But you know how I got out of it, right? I bought out of the bet.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so I said if you go to the Amherst Ale House in the next week and say Sabres Stanley Cup 2022, you could get a free drink for the entire week, but you can only do one drink per day. That was the catch.
Okay, well, I mean, you look good. You look nice and clean shaven. You're ready to rock and roll today. Are you going to go behind the bar tonight and pour some drinks?
I'm thinking I'm going to be a mix of like Coyote Ugly multiplied by Always Sunny in Philadelphia. So I think we're going to get like a little bit of each. I think you're going to be leading the way here with Mad grabbing a little bit.
I'm going to be behind the bar at 5 p.m., so we have a little bit of time here. Let me ask you a couple things. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, you've got a line. It's like an album release. Like people are lining up because they know at 5 o'clock they're waiting for that first drink from Sal.
And you can come by and you can tip all of us and one each, whatever you want to do. Put it in one of our buckets.
We got to say this. You might just come here to hang out with Sal and I, but there is no better TV situation at any sports bar in the city limits of Buffalo than Sports City Pizza Pub. So if you're coming to watch Sabres game, you're coming to watch NCAA tournament action, there's nowhere better to do it than with us here tonight.
No, I agree. It's pretty amazing. And they do have incredible food. Like I just had the hot garlic parm wings the other night. They were amazing.
No shortage of amazing flavors either. Like typically when you stretch far with, like 20 plus flavors, you tend to lose a little bit quality. I think there's specialty flavors. Like you said, the hot garlic parm. For me, it's the hot barbecue and the medium Cajun are my two go-to. Those are but all amazing. All amazing.
Right. Tell me about your UB Bulls. Not the season they won on the men's side, but the women had a really nice season. And I think they're playing tonight, right? Today?
Well, let's face it. If you're in the college picture, things do move quicker than they did. But unfortunately, UB is trying to get there. So it was a building year under George Halkovich. We're hoping that in year 2 we can come back and obviously make an impact. If you're looking at the women's side of things, incredible. Obviously, Becky Burke, takes them to the championship game. They fall a little bit short, but at the end, leading at half in the championship game of a Mac Turney game, that obviously means a lot. The big thing, though, Coach Pete, Coach Lembo, been hearing a lot of hype about UB. But I've been hearing, I hate to say this because first off, I love terms that rhyme and I hate to create false hype, but real deal is a phrase I've been hearing about Pete Lembo.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of really good things about him as well. And of course, he has experience coaching in the MAC, so he knows the landscape, but I've heard a lot of good things as well. Let's talk about a coach that used to be here that is no longer, Felicia Leggett-Jack, doing an amazing job at Syracuse. I mean, I know that you're close with Coach Jack. You've done a lot of stuff with her. I've got to know her, of course, with the Syracuse connection, doing stuff for UB basketball several years ago. But how cool is it to see her success? And the former players, Deasia Fair, obviously, first and foremost.
Yeah, obviously, it's incredible what they've been. It was Syracuse's dream probably when they hired her about a year and a half ago that she could possibly do a turnaround this quickly. But obviously they've done it. They've been able to take some of the good players we had here at UB, but those were, Coach Jack's recruits. That's how the college system works, obviously. But yeah, even her from her UB days. Coach Jack just has a way of making everything around her feel about 3 to 5 times more important. So when you multiply that by sports, which is something that makes people feel that way as well, the feeling is just insane. So it's really a great credit to them. It's amazing what they've been able to do. And obviously, we wish they were doing it at UB, of course, but we're sending all well wishes and good graces for Coach Jack and the Cuse and the tourney.
I understand when people feel jilted if a coach leaves, but you should also feel proud. That means they've done a nice job to go to the next. When Bobby Hurley left, when Nate Oates left, I root for those people because they leave it better than they found it, which is always what you want.
I think you just said a whole range. Let me take it down because we went through them in order. So Bobby Hurley goes to Arizona State. I think that was a little bit like heartbreaking from a sense just because finally UB was so good after so long. Then you have Nate Oates. You're still good. Everyone's amazed. I think the extension the week before he left kind of threw people off a little bit. You can't blame him for leaving, and you see what Alabama's done. Clearly, he made the right decision for his career. But, yeah, the extension the week before, And then what else?
Felicia.
We had Felicia, obviously. The writing was on the wall. That's all the way at the other end of the spectrum. She played at Syracuse. Her roots are in Syracuse. So going home is almost like poetry for her there. So you got to really appreciate it.
All right, let's talk about this tournament here. We got all these games going on. Who are you rooting for? You got, there's no UB, obviously. No Syracuse for me. No Bonaventure in the tournament.
No, remember, we're
Canisius.
Syracuse frozen
That's right. That's
I
right.
know I bleed blue, but I'm still originally.
That's why I brought
orange.
my orange windscreen mic.
I still got orange in my DNA. But what I'm rooting for, Sal, I think you're rooting for the same thing. Chaos, great endings, emotion. The thing that make this tournament better than anything. The thing that makes these next 4 days, as far as I'm concerned, you put these next 4 days on the Mount Rushmore of sports experiences for sure. This opening weekend for NCAA tournament is unlike anything.
All right, I'm going to ask you the same question I asked Joe Lavere. Have you, Joe Lavere was here, and I said this to him, I'm going to ask you, you're a little bit younger, so, may not have as many opportunities to do this, but have you ever either called off work or left work early just to watch the NCAA tournament?
Sal.
Of course.
You know who you're talking to? Listen, I played the fifth, but folks, come on. It's the NCAA tournament. My work is already talking about letting us out early tomorrow because they know it's the inevitable.
Yes. Now, I was a teacher, as you know, in Florida, and it was the day that a lot of teachers, but you know what? They left. I didn't do that. What I did, though, was I just brought the TV in. I said, here's your worksheets, kids. And you know what else I did? And watch the games. I did this. I'm not kidding. I actually had a really big, poster board. Like, I don't know how big, 6 feet tall, 3 feet wide. And we did our bracket. And whenever a team won, the kids would go up and write it. And we didn't bet or gamble, nothing like that. But I had them kind of follow along.
Yeah, I mean, needless to say, there's a reason you're everyone's favorite teacher. When your teacher came wheeling a TV in, and you're telling me you were wheeling a TV on March Madness, that would be like Christmas. That would be like watching Santa come down the chimney.
Listen, you got a lot of great things going on at Trainwreck Sports. You've done a really good job to kind of build it up over the last couple of years. I see a lot of the things right now. You guys are doing your own bracket contest.
We do.
You can tell everybody about that.
We got the Buffalo bracket. So listen, what do people from Buffalo love more than anything? Everything Buffalo. So we put 64 of Buffalo's top entities, ranking from pizza logs to Paula's Donuts to chicken wings, two-time winner, obviously, into a bracket of 64. Go check it out on our X, Twitter, or whatever you call it. Go vet and get in the action. People from Buffalo are going to decide what the best thing in Buffalo this past year was. Bandits Championship as a 1 seed. I mean, you gotta respect that.
Yeah, that's for sure. I have a suggestion for you. Okay. If Chicken Wing wins again, then you kind of know that every year they're going to do it. You retire them. You put them in the bracket Hall of Fame, and they just can't win anymore. Maybe you create an award after it or something.
I think you're right. Leadership has to do something to level this playing field. Right. I was thinking about what about maybe levying a sanction against them for their 2019 win and vacating it, lowering them to play. I mean,
that could be it.
What do these organizations love more than
put Chicken Wing in the portal? Put Chicken Wing.
Chicken Wing is bored and lives in the portal.
Chicken Wing's going to the portal. We don't know. Where's the NIL money? Chicken Wing's getting mad.
All I got to say is there better only be one spot you're transferring to this evening, and that is Sports City Pizza Pub.
All right, this is Maniac from Trainwreck Sports. Thanks a lot, man.
House in the middle of our street.
Sal's house in the middle of Sports City Pizza Pub, 1407 Niagara Street. Come on down. Let's have a great time. All right, I'm out of here. I'm going behind the bar. By the time you watch this, hopefully everything's still going on, but even if it's Friday, they're going to be here. They're going to be here all the time. You don't have to come down just for an NCAA watch party, but that's going to be the best time today on Thursday. After you see this, come on down. We're having a great time. Lots of people behind the bar. On Friday, they're going to be watching all the games all weekend. Same thing. Thanks a lot for Maniac, Joe Lavere, Mike Rizzo, everybody here at Sports City Pizza Pub. We want to thank them always for sponsoring Sal's House.